you can't win the district if you don't go undefeated in your district. So we're going to try to go over there Friday night, take care of business, and see if we can get 1-0 in the district.
So, Coach, and you mentioned the district opener against Keystone. As you look down the stretch of the season, you got Santa Fe, Newberry in the district, who was really good a year ago. You have Keystone, who's struggling. And you have Santa Fe, who's 4-0 this year.
Yeah.
It's like they've had a rough few years, but they seem to be back in a winning mode this year with Ernest Graham coaching.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's good when the teams in your district have some wins on the schedule and this and that. So last year, I think everybody just thought, hey, Bradford's won the district the first 2 years. They're just supposed to roll the helmets out and win. And I told you earlier, when we saw the film of Newberry and I saw their defensive line and their linebackers and the receiving core and the guys they had running the ball, Woods and those kind of guys, I said, this you're not going to be able to throw your helmets out there. And we got a rude awakening at Newberry last year for the district championship. They beat up on us pretty good. Not the scoreboard maybe, but physically. They were one of the first teams to out physical us. And then they did the same thing to us at home in the playoffs. And so we had to get back and clear some things and say, hey, the guys in the district are good. You can't just roll the helmets out and win. So we wanted to go back to being the hunter. We've been the hunted. Newberry hunted us down last year, and they took care of us. But now it's we need to go back to being a hunter.
Coach Jamie Rogers of Bradford High School joining me here on the North Florida High School Football Show, a sports talk show here on the North Florida Sports Talk Network. Corey Davis will be rejoining me in a moment. But, Coach, it seemed like, and you were at Swanee, had a lot of success at Swanee, at Baker County, took them to a state championship, went to Georgia, and for a while came back to Bradford. When you came and took this job, was it kind of one of those things where, this is a place where you can really have success, and maybe it had been a little bit down for a little while, but you knew that this is a place you could win, and you've taken them to a state title game here now?
Yeah, well, the reason I came back from Georgia is we lost my dad to COVID in late 2000 or in early 2021, and then so we had made a decision as a family we were going to try to get back closer to our families, and it's just I was going to do something else. I was getting out of the profession. A lot of people didn't know that. I was getting out of the profession and going to do something different, trying to find a job here closer to the house. And then I got the call about this job, and then so immediately I started going to watch film. And that's just what coaches do when they're going into it. And when I decided to take the job, I started watching film on it and doing some intel. It's not that far from my hometown, so there's a lot of people that knew about what was going on here. And I just looked at it, and when I got on campus and I saw the kids and I saw how hungry they were, but I knew we had good football players. Just some things had to be tweaked, not a whole lot. And I knew basically just seeing them in the weight room, seeing their hunger, I knew we had a chance to be pretty good pretty fast.
Yeah, and I know you preach defense. You're a defensive coach, and it seems like that's kind of been the way Bradford plays. You're going to hold teams. You're going to play really good defense. I mean, you've only given up, I think we said 33 points in 5 games, 2 defense. I think 1 a punt return, 1 a defensive score. So really, you've only given up like 12. Yeah. And I know that's your calling card is your defense.
Yeah, well, when I started in this game, that's I kind of cut my teeth on the defense side of the ball as a defense coordinator really early in my career, and with Coach Bobby Johns, and I mean he believed run the football, play good defense, and you'll be in most games, and I took that and kind of tweaked it a little bit, but yeah, like that defense, good defense keeps you in a lot of games, and defense travels. It really doesn't matter where you're playing at. It doesn't matter if it's turf or grass or whatever. If you have good, solid, sound defense, guys that tackle well in the open field, you got a chance to be in every game. And so that's something that we believe in. We started preaching that immediately to our kids, and they kind of took that role on. And now they kind of pass it down to the next group. Like our JV's kind of the same. Our defensive guys on JV, they don't want to be the ones to give up a bunch of points, Right. So that's it's kind of been what we do. It's kind of our MO, and it's been fun to watch because these kids really take pride in it.
Yeah, talk about some of the guys, some of your individual guys.
There's a lot of guys that have really shined this year that come from our JV and up through our ranks. PJ Lee and Nate Raymond at defensive end, they've been unbelievable this year. They're really fast. They're hard to block single. And then you got Danny Torres and J.A. down there, the free technique in the nose. They're tough to block. A lot of times they demand a double team, and when that happens, your linebackers are running free. And Kingston Booker, He's doing a great job. Cohen Chiaffi in the middle has done a good job, and one of our guys, J.J. Hall, has had the best season. Um, he's killed himself in the weight room, and he deserves his chance. He's a senior. He's waited his turn, and he's probably having the best year out of all of them.
Do you check out the FHSCA the numbers that came out the other day? Do you take a look at that? Like, how's that work? You just kind of win your games and try to win your other games. And
I got a couple of assistant coaches that really enjoy that kind of stuff.
They're into the math.
Yeah, they
the
love
numbers.
that. They try to figure out what's going to happen in this and that. And I don't really get into it a lot. I'll ask them, you know, where's this person, or where's this team at, or you know, what's this look like? And they keep me up to date on it, so I don't look at it very much.
I know in the end, it's like just go out and win, right?
If you win, it takes care of itself. Right. And you guys try to figure out the formula, and like I'm not getting into that strength of schedule, all that. So I have no idea.
I don't follow it. I don't really know what it is either. I just look and see where the schools are listed, pretty much, and kind of go from there. Well, Coach,
I should have mentioned the two Kaysen brothers that played both ways a while ago.
Yeah,
I was thinking about more of them on offense, but I mean, both those guys do a good job. One plays corner, and the other, Jacquez, never comes off the field. He's at safety, and Jordan does a good job at receiver, and then he goes to corner a lot. So we wouldn't be the same team without him, for sure.
Right. Well, Coach, I appreciate you coming by. I know we just started this a few weeks ago, and we were hoping to get you to come talk to us, and we appreciate you coming on, and maybe we'll try to do that again as we get closer to the postseason.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, sir.
Go Tornadoes.
Jamie just pulled an Ed Orgeron on me. Go Tiger. Go Tornadoes. Go. That's right. Go Rebels. It is Coach Jamie Rogers of Bradford High School. And we wish him good luck there at Keystone Heights this week. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Good luck, Coach.
Take it easy on Keystone and Palaka.
Yeah, Corey's worried about Palaka. As he would like to go cover some playoff games. What's going on? Oh. We're on live. And by the way, my apologies. I forgot to hit live right away. So my bad. I know. Thanks to Philip for texting me. I don't know what the heck.
I actually did have an interesting question I was hoping to ask.
So let's go back and start over. Actually, because I got most of that interview. That's where we started. But
okay.
Coach Rogers, we'll go back and start.
I did want to ask him, if you were coaching against yourself or your team, how would you defend? How would you stop your team? Because they can kill you in so many different ways. Run game, pass game. Obviously, they're known for their defense. Special teams. It's hard to find a weakness on that team. So how would how would Coach Rogers exploit the Tornadoes?
You should have said that. You could have had that question.
An interesting question.
Think about it too. He's taken. I don't know if he took Swanee to the state championship game, but they definitely went far in the playoffs. He's been successful everywhere he's been. He took Baker County to the state championship for the first time in school history. He took Bradford there for the first time in, I think, 50 years. I mean, he has won at every school he's been at. And, the guy builds programs. He does. And he's as you say, he came back to Bradford seeing that this program can be a powerhouse. It was in the 60s and 70s. And he kind of took it back to that as well, which is what we saw with Baker County. But, I think he's probably one of the best coaches in the area. I would definitely say.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, look what he did at Baker and what he's doing at Bradford. I mean.
And at Swanee, as I said, he won. I don't know. I don't think Swanee didn't go to the state title game, but they definitely made it far in the playoffs.
Oh, they were in the playoffs every year when he was there, pretty much.
Yeah, not the Swanee team.
Maybe not the first year, but every year after that.
Not the Swanee teams of the late 80s that won the four straight state titles for Mike Pittman, but yeah, right. Well, anyway, so we thank Coach for coming on. My apologies. I had a brain fart there, clearly. And can't hear me? Okay.
I hear you because you're there. But.
All right. No, I see a little thing moving, so we're good.
Okay.
Or as I can tell. All right. Anyway, we should be not having the problems we had last week with this. So, but what I started talking about the show was we only have 9 teams that are remaining unbeaten. And by the way, this is the North Florida High School Football Gridiron Report. Marty Pallman, Corey Davis here from Beef O'Brady's. And we'll tell you about Beef O'Brady's here at Stark in just a few moments. And we talk high school football every week, 8 to 9 p.m. here during the football season. We'll be on for the College Football Report 9 to 10 Kevin Brackway, the Gainesville Sun, will join us to talk about the Florida situation, Billy Napier's situation coming up. And we'll have him on around 9:30 probably tonight on that show. But we were talking about undefeated teams. 5 weeks halfway point the season just flies by. And we're already at the halfway point this week and just flies by. But only 9 undefeated teams remaining. Middleburg, who improved to 5-0 by beating 5-0 after beating Trinity Christian last week. And now they get to play another unbeaten, St. Augustine. So one of those is going to fall from the ranks of the unbeaten this week. And as you said, Corey, earlier, that would be for the district title, Columbia and St. Augustine.
Oh, yeah.
That game is at St. Aug, right?
St. Aug, I believe, yeah.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah. St. Augustine.
Yes, that's St. Augustine. District 340.
Yeah, St. Augustine's coming off a win against Nice, big win against their rival last week. Nice's first loss of the season. Ed White is still unbeaten.
And it don't get easier for Nice because they turn around and play Buell this week.
They play Buell, that's right. And that might be for their district title.
Oh, it will be.
Most likely. And that's Friday night at Citizens Field in Gainesville. That's where Mike Rideout will be for his high school game of the week, 106.9 Country in Gainesville. So check that one out, Nice and Buchholz on Friday night. Corey will be in Newberry. Everyone's going to be in Alachua County but me. I'll be in Duval.
Mm-hmm.
And I live in Alachua County. You two don't. So
I went to Newberry twice last year. Regular season matchup, which was not even close. It was started 2-0. It was never close. And then the playoff game, they lost 24-7, 21-7. It felt a little closer, but kind of figured Newberry was going to win. And then Newberry went on to go to the state semifinals and lost a close one to Cocoa.
It wasn't close, but yeah, that's the Cocoa.
It was like 21-7, 28-7.
I think it was 30. I'll have to look it up. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Cocoa was struggling this year, by the way. They're 2-3.
Are they?
I saw them in the power rankings. And I was like, wow, 2-3.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either. And we were talking a little bit earlier about that. That the FHSAA already is releasing, and I think it's kind of early for this, but I mean, they start halfway through the season. They start releasing the how do we call it? I call them numbers, classification, the
power rankings. I call them RPI.
Well, I mean,
which Josh, like, oh, you can't. Well, no,
RPI is probably the trademark
thing, yeah. That everybody knows in layman's terms is the RPI, because people know what the RPI is.
When he says Josh, he means Joshua Wilson.
Yeah,
Florida HS football, right? So, but yeah, he does. Yeah, right. He doesn't like that term. It's probably because he thinks it's trademarked. But anyway, I don't know. But yeah, that so they released that this week. So of course I'm taking a look at that today and trying to figure out who's where and who's where. I'm thinking we got 5 more weeks of this. A lot's going to change.
Yeah, but they do this for every sport.
They do this for every sport.
Basketball, baseball, volleyball. Volleyball. They've been having rankings for 2-3 weeks now.
Oh yeah, volleyball. Well, volleyball.
We only got 2 weeks left of volleyball.
Yeah, they'll be in districts in a few weeks, 3 weeks. So you're right. It that definitely is true. But yeah, they do that for baseball, basketball. I agree. But and Coach just said, Coach Rogers saying, yeah, I don't really keep up with it. I feel like a lot of head coaches let other people deal with that. Some people like to crunch numbers, But
well, I asked Coach Lowry from Blocker that question this week when I was doing the preview. I was like, "Do you even pay attention?" He's like, "No." He goes,
just win
until I told him where they were at number 10 and
see it's early. Yeah, right.
2A.
Right.
He goes, "Really? Okay." He had no idea, and he's like, "You know what? All I care about is going 1-1 in the district."
Right.
If they beat Newberry, they're back in the conversation.
Yeah, I agree. So, like I said, and Coach Rogers just said it too. They just want to. All they're worried about is winning games, and that's what they're going to do. And they're going to win a lot. Honestly, I would say Bradford would be the favorite to win that district again. They're kind of being down a little bit. Santa Fe's better.
Bradford should win out.
Yeah, I would think so too, especially after you see the schedule they've already played this year. But so. Those are, as we said, unbeaten teams. Rains 3-0. They had a bye last week. Yulee 5-0 after shutting out West Nassau. 2 unbeaten there in Nassau County met. Yulee got the win, so they're unbeaten. You said best start in school history for them. We mentioned Santa Fe 4-0 after the win at Fernandina last week, who was also undefeated. Now they get University Christian at home this week, and also you got Trenton, Coach Bryant Fry 4-0. They had a bye last week. Waiting for them to play somebody a little better, maybe. Hasn't been a tough start.
Well, they get a wake-up call this week.
Who is it this week?
Chiefland.
That will be a wake-up call, and that's also obviously a rivalry game, too. That's a big one. Good Chiefland team. By the way, Cocoa, Not to. I was just looking at that. Cocoa beat Newberry 40-3 last year. I knew it was kind of an ugly.
I wrote it down,
for a while.
And I think on my paper it looked like it said 10-3. That's why I thought.
It was 40-3. I thought Cocoa would beat it, but as you said, it was 24-7. They beat Palaca in the first round. So Palaca was in that game. And finally, Oak Hall 4-0, as we mentioned there in the SSAA. They will have PK Young at home. That game has been moved to tomorrow night, Thursday night. So most likely we'll win again there. No longer unbeaten, Mandarin. Well, we were talking about Mandarin. They beat Bradford, knocked them out from the ranks of the unbeaten the week before last. This week, talking about wake-up calls, IMG Academy came in to Mandarin and beat them by 50, 57-7. Looks like the Yankees are winning there, huh?
5-1. Yep.
Toronto's losing too, last I checked. So you might have a tie for that division there. We're talking baseball all of a sudden, but as the postseason comes up. But Mandarin, they get their first loss. If I'm Coach Ramsey there, or not Ramsey, Coach Bullock there at Mandarin, I might think about playing IMG again because they went down there last year and got hammered as well down in Bradenton.
Well,
it's IMG though.
I was going to say they had Carson Beck, but they didn't have Carson Beck. No. But they've had the talent, so they thought. They had the talent to compete with those kind of guys. And a lot of times you schedule games like that to maybe help your players get higher, in the rivals rankings, in the rival scout, and the 247 on 3 rankings. Everybody knows about the right. Everybody knows no one player in 28 or 29. You schedule games like that to help your kids get more recognition. So that might have been what it is, but I don't foresee them being on the schedule for next year.
Yeah, I don't either as well. Nice, so Mandarin gets their first loss of the season. Oakleaf, they dropped their first game to Bowles. I think the surprise was the score of that. 38-6 Bowles beat Oakleaf at Oakleaf after Oakleaf had beaten Hawthorne the week before. But Bowles goes in and wins pretty big. Nice 4-1. Tough loss to St. Augustine, 28-24. They get their first loss of the season. Really not much to be ashamed of there with that loss. And as you said, though, now they get Buchholz this week. Baldwin, 4-1. They lose a shootout to Baker County, 51-48. Another kind of rivalry game there. So Baldwin
they're literally 10 minutes apart.
Yeah.
Right down 90.
Baldwin and McClenny or Glen St. Mary are right there. Yeah,
especially if you're talking about the football stadium. Yeah, to Baldwin High.
That's true because
it's less than 10 minutes.
East. Yeah, and that's the other thing I forgot to say. We were talking about Baker County football. Is they play in McClenny, but Mary. That's how that works. But
which when you're covering basketball, it's confusing because I'm so used to going to the football stadium that I have to remember. Oh wait, I'm actually going to the high school for basketball.
Right, that's right. Fernandina Beach, as we said, they got their first loss of the season from Santa Fe. They're 5-1. West Nassau
5-1 also.
West Nassau gets their first loss from Yulee. Impact Christian, they lost to University Christian, which again not surprising, but they are now 3-1. No longer winless. Congratulations to these teams. Bartram Trail 1-4. They got their first win against Orange Park, unfortunately for us. For Corey and I, Riverside 1-4. They got their first win against Reball, I believe. It was close, like a 1-point game, I think.
They keep getting in shootouts.
Yeah, right. In that game, Swanee 1-4. They get a win. Who did they?
Hamilton.
That was Hamilton. That's right. Bell 1-4. They get a win over Old Plank. Christian Dixie County hammers Keystone Heights for their first win, and Westport also
beat Citrus 43-7.
Right. So they get their first win of the season. They're 1-4. Still winless. Stay on the wood.
What is there to say? I mean.
I don't know. Every week I see this.
This might be the week, though.
I shake my head. Well,
this could be the week.
25 straight losses. They lost 35-0 to Fletcher. This could be the week, huh? Who was it?
Creekside. Creekside won one game.
Yeah, but their record. They played a pretty good schedule too. But
they lost a shootout last week to Winter Park.
Clay 0-5 as they were beaten by First Coast. Inglewood 0-4. They were blown out again. Parker 0-4. They've had a rough start. And this week they'll get Bishop Kenny, and I don't think that's going to change. Westside also. Those two teams are both in Bishop Kenny's district. So if they don't make the playoffs win that district, Menendez is the only team you kind of maybe have to worry about a little bit there. Keystone Heights 0-4. We don't really see that changing anytime soon with the because they're playing Bradford this week. Kip Old City is 0-5. PK Young 0-4. They'll get Oak Hall this week. Harvest Community 0-5. Cedar Creek Christian 0-6.
And the interesting about that is they both play each other tomorrow night. So somebody will lead this category and go to the no longer winless category between Harvest and Cedar Creek.
Right. So the somebody's going to get a win there, as you said. Bronson's lost 19 in a row now after the loss to Central Florida Christian. They're on a bye this week, so that won't end. So we mentioned Sandalwood lost to Fletcher. Westside's lost 10 in a row. Those are your longest streaks, and they will go to Menendez. That's also a district game this week as well. Huge district week 2. Speaking of which, Corey, as you mentioned, all the district games this week. DeLand at Spruce Creek and in Class 7A. That's a big one. Mandarin and First Coast in Class 6A. South Lake travels to Ocala Forest. Forest coming in off a win over Gainesville last week. And Bowles and Baldwin as Bowles opens their district play.
What if Baldwin pulls the upset?
That'd be huge. They'll probably win that district.
Because Bowles is coming off of Oakley.
You know the rest of the district. It's like
Bowles is not going to take any team for granted. But when you played St. Augustine and Oakley, Bishop Kenny.
Yep. They played St. Augustine, Oakley, Trinity, Bishop Kenny.
Trinity. That's
yeah.
At some point, you're going to have an off night where you're either looking ahead or we've already played all these other top teams.
You think
somebody's going to have an off night. So maybe
I had a feeling that's what happened to St. Augustine in between beating Bowles and beating Nice. They nearly lost to Riverside. It was 47-41. I have a feeling St. Augustine was really
looking back and looking ahead.
Trap game. And I think those exist. Sometimes people say they don't exist. I think trap games definitely
do.
They definitely exist there. But all right, District 1, District 5 will be decided this week. Father Lopez travels to Crescent City. There's 2 teams in the district, clearly. So the title and the playoff berth are on the line. I'm assuming your buddy Mark will be there.
Mark will be at that game, yep.
Yeah, from the
senior night for Crescent City.
Yeah.
Crescent City went to Daytona last year and won that game 30-7. It was 30-0 in the fourth quarter.
I'm assuming Crescent City probably can win this game again.
They should, but this is a much better Father Lopez team. So Father Lopez is actually a 9-point favorite in this game,
according to
our buddy Josh Wilson.
Yeah, like I said, according to I never know, his numbers might be right.
And Newberry's a 28-point favorite against Blackout, so we'll see.
Really? Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see on Friday. That's why they play the games. As what's his face, Chris Bourbon.
So this week we're going to do a little things different. Normally we'll do Ocala, Gainesville, and Jacksonville, but it seems like less teams played this week, so I kind of combined Ocala and Gainesville together, especially when because of paywalls and Star Banner and the Gainesville Sun, you can't really get a lot of information on that area. Even the game they cover, you got to pay for it to get information about it. So it's been a struggle, other than getting scores and knowing teams' record. It's a struggle to pick, to get any information about the teams from Ocala for sure.
Before we move on to that, let me tell you about Beef O'Brady's in Stark. 40 years of Beef O'Brady's, and they are bringing you deals 7 days a week. Tonight, it's Wednesday, so you have 99-cent wing Wednesdays, traditional or BOGO free boneless, $12.99 steakout Thursdays, ribeye steak sandwich, Philly plus cheesesteak fries, or the cowboy steak salad. $11.49 Fridays, fish and chip Fridays, the $11.99 cheeseburger and wings Saturdays.
$1.99 on Sundays.
Kids combo for $1.99 on $7.99 Ultimate Taco Tuesday, 2 tacos plus chips and salsa. Plus, they also have.
I've had that taco deal. It's really good too.
They also have that 3. Well, they don't have it. The 3. What's it called? There it is. The triple meal deal.
Triple dipper.
And all of it says, you can get for $10.99. You get a starter, a meal and fries, and a fountain drink or iced tea. You can choose chips and salsa house or Caesar salad. You can get an Angus cheeseburger and fries, crispy chicken sandwich, Cuban sandwich, chicken tenders, whatever you want. So that's Beef O'Brady's. Located here right on 301 in Stark, across the street from Bradford High School, celebrating 40 years of Beefs. All right, so again, we thank Beefs. Actually, we're here with the door open tonight. I didn't even realize because Coach was.
Oh yeah, both of them are. Yeah.
I think we need to start. Maybe we need to start seeing if we can get our hook up into the sound system here. Maybe they can play the show over the.
Well, they got other games or music on out there.
That's the only thing. There's a lot of other things going on here at once, but
yeah.
All right. So as you said, Ocala Gainesville will start there with we kind of combined them this week. Well, in this case, it was Ocala and Gainesville. Forest defeats Gainesville 24-13. Too many turnovers for GHS. Finally, their 5-game road trip ends at 2-3. They have a bye this week. They're going to be home next week. Finally, for their opener, home opener against Beholtz. So, not really a home opener, but Forest goes to 3-1. Big game for them this week against Southlake, and Coach Brantley gets a win for Forest.
Which Southlake, I don't know if he's the head coach, but the assistant coach is former Bronson coach, Coach Holly.
Yeah, so
they've been doing really well the last couple
assistant coach. Yeah, the honestly,
Holly,
Russell Holly, yeah, and Mike Rideout knows him well. The only coach who's ever really won anything at Bronson, honestly, in football. They were
other than basketball.
They did the play, yeah. Other than
when
basketball.
Kelly Beckham.
Yes, Kelly
Beckham was at Bronson. They were really good.
In the 80s, 90s, they went to 2 state championships.
They were probably one of the best teams besides GHS.
But Kelly Beckham won nearly 900 games. So he won a state title at GHS too. But yeah, he had a lot of success at Bronson in basketball. So Forest beats Gainesville 24-13. South Sumter, Bellevue, they got that win against Dixie County, but South Sumter goes in and beats them 41-21. I don't think that's that surprising. Bellevue now 1-4. South Sumter coming off the loss to Bradford gets the win there. Vanguard 20, Denellen 7. Defensive battle there. Vanguard goes to 4-1.
Now that was the game that the Ocala Star Banner covered. I didn't realize that was a rivalry game. I knew about Vanguard and Forest
County,
but apparently that's a big rivalry game too.
Yeah, it's a Marion County game, and are they in the same district too? I think.
No,
they're not.
No.
Okay, no, I think Denellen's in 3, Vanguard's in 4. Like that.
This week's district week, so that was a
that's right. Westport got their first win, 43-7 over Citrus. Impressive win there. Williston, this game was delayed for a while by weather. It was weird because I didn't have a game Friday night. My game was Thursday night over at Bishop Kenny Beachside. You, I think, Friday night were at
Interlochen West Oaks, yeah.
And I'm texting you because my friend Philip Crutchfield was in Williston working the game. And it started storming at my house in Gainesville like 7 o'clock. And I'm going, this is weird. This is just because it wasn't supposed to rain. And I still looked at the radar. The weather was heading from the north to south, kind of like west of here. It was hitting Trenton and Bell and all those areas. All those games got delayed. And then it hit Williston. And then finally, at halftime of the Beholtz-Richmond Hill game, it hit Citizens Field. And the game was called there. But it was kind of a weird night. It was literally just kind of raining over this area with lightning as well. But Williston got the win. That game was delayed by weather for a while over North Marion. Close, though, 24-14. Not a bad game as Williston goes to 3-0. You mentioned Beholtz. They get revenge again, as they did last week against Manatee, going down there. To this time, they get Richmond Hill coming down from Savannah, and the game is called at halftime, 21-0. And I found out now the FHSC rule is if you play a half, it's a game. It's
the other team can
agree to it.
Right. If they agree.
Right. Exactly, if they agree. And Richmond Hill was ready to get home, apparently.
Because they weren't coming back.
They didn't have any hotel or anything, so Beholtz gets that win, 21-0. And this week, Beholtz gets Nice. Columbia, 27-20 over Trinity Christian. They remain unbeaten, 5-0. Brian Allen's 100th win. So good for Coach Allen there as the Tigers stay unbeaten. Santa Fe.
You have to average 10 wins a year for 10 wins for 10 years to get to 100. So, and they've had some down years. Remember, Columbia a couple of years ago, I don't think even made the playoffs because they were like 3-7, 4-6 kind of team. So for him to get to win 100, it's pretty huge for the Tigers.
Yeah, it really is, and that is a big deal. And he actually, as you say, he left for a couple of years, and who was it? Demetri Jackson came in and coached Columbia, then went back to Fort White. So
wasn't that just like a 1-year deal, though?
It was 2 years. I think it was there 2 years. It was right after COVID too, so I think it was something like that. But Santa Fe goes to 4-0. Ernest Graham's that team still unbeaten as they take their first road game of the season, go to Fernandina Beach and win 37-27. Now they'll get University Christian this week. That'll be a test as well in Alachua. Chiefland, again, no problem for the Indians as they beat Trinity Catholic 42-14. Dixie County gets their first win of the season, 39-24 over Keystone Heights, who is still winless. And Bradford, we talked about this, up 28-7. They only led 6-0 in the half, but then came out the second half and got to a 28-0 lead and won over Eastside. Again, this was a game that was kind of added later this year. They were supposed to originally play Appleton County, Georgia, but added Eastside. Eastside falls to 3-2. So other scores, I mentioned Bell getting their first win, 21-12 over Old Plain Christian. Brayton Christian 20-6 over Countryside Christian. Branford defeats Lake Weir 38-6. Nature Coast, tough game here, 21-20. They went at Blacka.
Yeah, Blacka scored first and had the extra point blocked, and that was the difference in the game.
That's rough. Meanwhile, Fort White 47, Union County 0.
Wow.
We've been hearing some stories today out of Union County. Things are just getting worse there. Seems like there may be a lot of players on their way out. We did hear that Drew Simmons, our running back, is heading back to Columbia. He originally went to Columbia last spring.
Will they be there next week? Will they follow the trend and be there next week?
Yeah, that's true. He's apparently is going back to Columbia. This is what we've been hearing a lot about this, of course. Interlochen, they got a win, 38-18 over West Oaks. The game you were at. You actually thought that was going to be a tough one for them, and they got it done. Interlochen did. Their second win of the year, right?
Yeah, they're 2-4. They actually were down 12-6 early in the third quarter and outscored them 32-6.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. So good win for them. Lafayette, they defeat Zarephath. I think Zarephath plays everybody out in the rural area. In the rural area.
Yeah, they play Plaka at the end of the year. So yeah, they get around.
They played Santa Fe. They played Lafayette. 43-14. Lafayette wins. PK Young close. Nearly got a win. They lose 21-14 to Naples First Baptist Academy. New Smyrna Beach all over Crescent City, 52-0. That's the city playing that game. Cala Christian 38-22 over First Coast Christian. Real Life Christian 50. St. John Lutheran zip. Mentioned Bronson losing to Central Florida Christian of Orlando 42-12. St. Francis Catholic gets a win 35-0 over. I've never heard of this one. Gainesville Christian.
It's what used to be called Newberry Christian. It's on Newberry Road.
Right.
We actually went to it one time. The football field
was in the cornfield. It's gone now. Yeah, so they don't play there anymore. No.
I'm going to pass it Friday, so we'll see.
Trust me. Yeah, trust me, it's gone. The guy, I think the land's being sold because they've taken all that out of there. But you're right. It was funny. We found that one night just driving out that way. And at nighttime, it's even more funnier because all you see is a scoreboard, but you can see a scoreboard. And then, as you mentioned, Sewanee gets a win 34-6 over Hamilton County. All right, Jacksonville. As we look at Thursday. 35-31. This was the game I had Thursday night. This was a really good ball game. Beachside gets the win 35-31.
Well, I watched the clip. Thanks to Clayton Freeman. He had the last play of the game. Essentially. Yeah. I mean, he was literally 1 yard away from
See, from the angle I was in it, it was about the 5. He was inside the 5.
He dove and was getting ready to hit the pylon, and two guys hit him. In fact, I mentioned their names. And that's
the funny thing too. There were no turnovers in the game till then, and on that play, he had already converted the first down, but he kept going to the end zone. And Gavin Hawkins, the quarterback for Bishop Kenny. Sorry, I'm saying he. And Bishop Kenny's down 35-31, so they have to get a touchdown. They had one timeout left, so he could have gone out of bounds. He could have gone down and had a shot at it, but no, he went to the end zone. Give the kid credit. He was trying to make a play. And he got hit. He fumbled the ball right about the wall. And Andrew Cruz and Dominic Parr for Beachside, and it was recovered by Gustavo Gonzalez. Is this true? Eddie Jordan threw for
school record.
35 yards. That's much.
It's
crazy. Eddie Jordan. Yeah, he threw all over Bishop Kenny, especially the second half.
He was combined for like
7 game at halftime.
8,000 something yards. Since he's been there. 8,000 yards and like close to 100 touchdowns.
Wow. Okay. Well, this game was only 14-7 at the half. So in the second half, he really started lighting them up. 535 yards and 5 touchdowns for Eddie Jordan. Beachside has won 4 in a row since an opening loss to Orlando Christian Prep. And they've beaten Ponte Vedra and Bishop Kenny the last 2 weeks. BK now 2-2. Kenny quarterback Gavin Hawkins comes up short at the 1 yard line. So that was a tough one Thursday night for Bishop Kenny. And again, they'll be home against Terry Parker Friday night, their district opener. I keep calling him Terry Parker. I don't know if anyone else still calls him that.
I do.
Yeah. Okay. There's still, I know Max Griff's and everything.
Andrew Jackson, Terry Parker, Ed White.
Well, Ed White, right. Yeah, Thursday, other Thursday games last week. Ponte Vedra, no problem. Menendez 48-6. They come back from their loss to Beachside and went on the road at Menendez. And Stanton defeated Harvest Community 28-12. Blue Devils are 3-3. they're 500 now. When the second game was played at Providence.
Harvest doesn't have a home field, so they kind of bounce around.
I know Stanton does. I've been there, but Friday night, huge game. St. Augustine 28-24 over Nice Jackets. We get a big defensive stop late to remain unbeaten. IMG 57, man, 7, as Corey writes. Not much to say about losing to an all-star team. You're right. It's pretty bad there. Because Mandarin's a good team, and then when they go to lose by 50, you're like, man, that's crazy. Also, again, this score surprised me. Bowls 38, Oakley 6. You say a bounce back win, but they beat Bishop Kenny the week before, so they was actually the bounce back win from St. Augustine.
So they won 2 in a row.
Yeah, they're 4-1 now. Yeah, you got it. But anyway, it was a big win for them. Oakley's first loss. Fletcher 35-0. 35-0. Game was called at a halftime.
Well, Theatric Basin said on Facebook that he put backups in early. He's like, I could have put 70 on them if I wanted to. But that's what I thought he said. I thought he said that they basically called the game either at halftime or early third quarter because the game was getting out of hand. You know, them two have a history of fighting. They didn't play for a couple years because there's always a fight.
It's always been a rivalry, right? As you head out towards the beach in Jacksonville, Duval County. And then the other battle of Nassau County, 2 unbeaten teams meet. Only one's left now. Yulee, as they shut out West Nassau 17-0. So the Yulee, the only unbeaten in Nassau County, they're 5-0, as you said earlier, best start in school history. And that's pretty impressive considering they had Derrick Henry.
Well, I think when they played, when Derrick was there, well, I know this for a fact, they played a tougher schedule too. Because I remember going there for the ESPN game against Glade Day when Kelvin Taylor played for Glade Day. So I mean, they were playing bowls. They were playing big time programs. Not to say that Yulee's playing an easier schedule, but I'm just saying when Derrick Henry was there, they were playing bigger, more established teams.
Right. So. And of course, Derrick Henry, as we saw Monday night, having some issues with fumbling right now, which is surprising.
If you go back and look at the film, though, he's really fumbling because what I've noticed is teams like stiff arming, jabbing, knock the ball out. It's not him truly fumbling; it's them knocking the ball out.
Yeah, he's a pretty strong dude. That was surprising me when he do that.
250, 260.
Well, I mean, there's a reason. Okay. There was a reason he didn't come to Florida. That's because Muschamp was going to make him a linebacker. He could play linebacker.
He's always been a grown man, even as a freshman in high school.
Right. Of course, Nick Saban said, "Hey, I'll put you at running back. I want to play running back." And what do you know? He won a Heisman there. Yeah. So then the rest is history. But all right, scores of note from the Jacksonville area. Atlantic Coast defeats Andrew Jackson 33-6. Baker County 51, Baldwin 48. Bartram Trail 42-0 over Orange Park. Ouch. First win of the season for Bartram Trail. That's a district game too, right?
No, this week's district.
I thought there was some.
No, that's not district.
Sorry. Okay. Christchurch 42-15 over Jacksonville Cornerstone Classical. That's a new one to me as well. Eagles View 50-14 over Cedar Creek Christian. Ed White, boy, they continue to just roll up points. 54-14 over Terry Parker, who's really struggling. They're 0-4. Ed White unbeaten. Episcopal gets another win over Kip Bowles City, 30-0. First Coast, they're 3-1. Clay is 0-5, 49-7. First Coast. What's going on with Clay? Just losing guys to Fleming.
Well, they got a new coaching staff. The guy came from Haggerty, Jeff Gerke.
Yeah.
Well-known coach in Central Florida.
Right.
So it's kind of a learning curve right now.
Middleburg, they are 5-0, beating Ridgeview 51-16. I don't think – does Ridgeview have one win, I think, at this point?
Yeah, one win.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think that was over Inglewood, I think.
Providence, interesting. They played this game. Shut out 35-0 by Pensacola Catholic.
They played a murder schedule. They opened up with –
It's true.
Frostproof and their only win is Tampa.
Their only win is against Episcopal.
And they played Carrollwood Day.
Carrollwood Day, right. Yeah, I think they're 1-4. Their only win was against Episcopal. That was Episcopal's only loss. Pearson Taylor. I love this one. 35-22 for Young Kids in Motion. Is it a legal motion against the young kids? Yeah, I know.
Well, sir, you're not running quick enough.
That game. Young Kids in Motion. So Pearson Taylor gets the win. Richard Riverside, their first win. Close one, though. 21-20 over Revolt. University Christian, no problem with Impact Christian, 42-16. I thought that was a district game. Maybe I'm losing it. I'm sure I'm losing it. Creekside loses to Winter Park 45-29. And Wolfson, how about the Wolfpack? They get another win. They shut out Bishop Snyder 49-0. Ouch, Bishop Snyder.
Well, it's amazing when you schedule cupcakes. You can easily pick up a couple wins.
Bishop Snyder was a cupcake.
Well, they're not even at FHSA. I'm saying.
Well, Wolfson's all their win was against Kipbold City before that, but yeah. All right, so let's take a look at the schedule this week.
We don't have to go over every game because
actually Thursday night we'll go over key games. Thursday night, Matanzas and Mainland. That's in 5A District 4. That'll be at Daytona Stadium. That's Thursday. We mentioned PK on Oak Hall, also on Thursday night. Friday night, DeLand and Spruce Creek, both teams 5-0, District opener in 7A District 2. Orange City University, Flagler, Palm Coast in 7A District 2. These are also district games. Mandarin First Coast, Mandarin 4-1, First Coast 3-1 in 6A2. Oakleaf and Fletcher, another big game there. Oakleaf tries to come back from their loss to Bulls. They're at Fletcher. Both teams are 4-1 in 6A2. Tecoy Creek will be at Bartram Trail in 6A District 3. Tecoy Creek 3-1, Bartram 1-4. We mentioned Nice and Buholt 6A District 3 at Citizens Field. Both teams are 4-1 there. South Lake and Forest have actually already played a district game. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
1-0.
6A6. They're 1-0. South Lake will head to Ocala to play Forest. South Lake 4-1. Forest is 3-1. Fleming Island, they also have a district win. Ponte Vedra has lost their opener to Beachside. So Fleming Island 3-1 at Ponte Vedra 2-2 in 5A District 3. Middleburg and Orange Park in 5A3. Middleburg 5-0. Orange Park 2-3, and they lost their district opener.
Columbia, St. Augustine.
Right. Looking further down, Columbia and St. Augustine, both teams 5-0. 4A District 3, probably for the championship there. Vanguard will host Lecanto in 4A5. Vanguard 4-1, 1-0 in district. Lecanto 3-2 and 1-0 as well. Ed White will host Merritt Island, non-district game. Merritt Island 3-2. Rains 3-0 at Riverside 1-4. Godby at Baker County in 3A District 2. Wakulla and Swanee in 3A District 2. Wakulla 2-2. Swanee 1-4. As I mentioned, Bishop Kenny hosting Terry Parker in 3A4. Denellen East Side 3A District 5. Wait. That can't be at East Side because Beholtz is at home on Friday night.
Well, it might be Thursday then.
Oh, I think there's. Wait, is there a game tomorrow night?
Santa Fe's at home, so
yeah, I'll check that out.
It could be Thursday.
I was pretty sure East Side wasn't playing this week, but yeah, but that's a big one because that may decide that district 3A District 5 between Denellen and East Side. South Sumter, North Marion in 3A5, 4-1. South Sumter 2-3, North Marion. We mentioned Bradford County at Keystone Heights. Plaque and Newberry in 2A5, Plaque 0-1, Newberry 1-3 and 1-0 in district play. University Christian Santa Fe non-district game, UC 4-1, Santa Fe 4-0. Williston is at Trinity Catholic 3-1, Williston 2-2, Trinity non-district game there.
Bernadine at West Nassau.
Both teams 5-1 there as well.
Trenton and Chiefland. Remember I told you a big game this week.
Oh yeah, Trenton 4-0 at Chiefland 4-1. That is a big game, as you said. So, let's look at kind of some of the key games this week around the area. Yeah, we were running a little bit behind because I unfortunately forgot to push go live at the beginning. So, but we heard from Bradford coach Jamie Rogers at the start of the show. And so now we'll probably go a little bit past 9 o'clock. We've got our, but stay tuned for the college football Gridiron Report here on North Florida Sports Talk. And again, live tonight from B4 Brady's in Stark. Well,
I forgot my pen.
That is pen. Okay, well, that's right. First, we got to get the results from last week.
Yeah. Live radio, live TV,
Live video.
That's a break. All right, let's talk about the picks. So, in high school last week, we both went 10-2. We both had great weeks.
That's good. Yeah.
Which means you're still 5 games ahead of me. You're 44-16. I am 39-18.
Wait, 39-18.
Even though I had a great week, I didn't catch you.
44-16?
Yeah.
And 39-18? That doesn't add up.
You know I'm not so good.
39. Yeah. You said 5 games, so.
39-21.
Yeah, okay. That sounded right. Sorry. I'm correcting your math there, but okay. So nothing changed.
All right.
We went 10-2, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So now it's picking time.
All right. Yep. We will start with the game we were just talking about in Nassau County, Bernadina Beach at West Nassau. Are you going first or me?
I'll go first in high school. You go first in college. Okay, Bernadette, West Nassau. Getting back to Callahan and the home field there. Um, I've been saying that, Bernadette's schedule has been a little suspect. Really, they played the first real team last week against Santa Fe. I've been riding with West Nassau. I'm going to stick with them. I'm going with West Nassau.
They didn't work out for us too well last week, though. We both took West Nassau, I think, to beat Yulee. But honestly, though, this game being in Callahan, I'm kind of with you as well. West Nassau at home, I think we'll get another victory and kind of get off that one-game losing streak. Fernandina Beach come off the loss to Santa Fe. See, I'll take the Warriors at home as well.
You got family in Chiefland, by the way. Callahan. So yeah. You really can't go against the Warriors.
I know. Pretty much have what's left of my family. Most of it's in Callahan. You're right. So, Trenton and Chiefland. We were just talking about this game between these two rivals.
Well, I think this is Trenton's first road test of the season.
Right.
They've been playing, teams that they should have won. Chiefland has played a much tougher schedule. They're playing at home. I'm going with Chiefland.
Yeah, of course, I made the mistake week 1 of picking Bell to beat Trenton. It didn't go over well. But at this point, it's a little bit different. Chiefland's better than Bell. And Chiefland's only lost so far to Baker County, a higher classification team. They're a pretty good team, I think. They're a pretty good team, I think. So yet to play that kind of schedule. So I'll take Chiefland at home. See if Coach Fry wins that game. Hey, I might pick Trenton the rest of the year because that'd be a big win for them on the road there in Chiefland. Williston at Trinity Catholic.
Well, most years I probably would pick Trinity Catholic, but they're struggling since Coach Brantley's left there. I realize they've been playing a tougher schedule too, but Wilson's playing pretty well right now. I think they're 4-1. I think 3-1, 4-1, somewhere on there. So I'm going to go with Wilson.
I'm trying to think. Did I pick Trinity Catholic or Chiefland last week? I took Chiefland. Okay. Right. I was thinking I almost took Trinity Catholic there, but no, because Chiefland won that pretty big. Yeah, Williston is they lost their opener to Chiefland. They're playing pretty well though since then. So even though it's a road game, I think Williston will win that as well. I'll take the Red Devils to win their 4th in a row. Bowles and Baldwin.
We were just talking about this, and I'm like, this screams potential upset. Bowles has played a really demanding schedule.
I don't think
they're coming off the win against Oakley.
Yeah.
You always look ahead to other games potentially. This is a district game though. And Baldwin's coming off a shootout with Baker County.
Yep.
As much as I would like to pick Baldwin, I got to pick Bowles.
Yeah, I'm not going to make that mistake anymore after picking Bishop Kenny to beat Bowles. I'm on the Bowles bandwagon. I did pick him to beat St. Augustine, but I'm going to take in this case. I think Bowles will win this game. I mean, you're right. It's a tough road to go to Baldwin. They're a tough team. It's a district opener. I just think Bowles will have a little bit too much. I mean, after seeing them beat Oak Leaf 38-6, I mean that was an impressive win on the road last week. All right, so far we're 4 for 4. This one, I don't know. This might change a little bit here. Columbia at St. Augustine. This is an interesting game because these are 2 unbeaten teams, both 5-0 coming. In.
Yeah, I was looking at Justin Barney's rankings yesterday. Justin Barney from Channel 4, and he had Rains number 1, St. Augustine number 2, and I was like, well, St. Augustine just beat Nice in a close game. Rains have really, with the exception of Lake Mary, hasn't really played anybody.
Plus, they've already had 2 bye weeks as well.
Well, yeah, because the
first game, that game got canceled.
Well, I think St. Augustine is the best team in the area.
I agree.
And they're playing at home. Don't mess with the Dog.
Our friend from Columbia, from Lake City, Hunter Williams, who does our power poll, has every week he texts me to talk about Columbia. And this week he told me, boy, if Columbia can beat St. Augustine, they'll be. I'm like, yeah, if they can beat St. Augustine, I'll put them at the top of the teams in the area. But I don't think they're going to beat St. Augustine. I mean, I made the mistake of picking Nice to beat St. Aug last week. I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to take the Yellow Jackets at home, St. Augustine to beat Columbia. Oakleaf and Fletcher, another district game there. 1 loss for Oakleaf last week. The Bowles, Fletcher's only lost so far coming to Nice.
This is a tough game to pick. Fletcher sat a lot of their starters last week because of the blowout win over Sandalwood. Oakleaf's coming off a a beatdown with the Bulls.
Yeah.
I should pick Oak Creek, but I'm going to pick Fletcher.
Okay.
I need to catch you.
Well, that's good because I'm taking Oakleaf because I don't know. Other than losing the Bulls, I still think it's a good team. And honestly, Fletcher, the best team they played so far was Nice. Nice beat them. It was a close game, but I think Oakleaf's going to win that game, even though it's at Fletcher. So I will go with the Knights of Oakleaf. Another game of district game between two teams with one loss. Nice coming out the loss to St. Augustine, and Buholtz's only loss came to Vero Beach.
I remember this game last year being a really close game. Nice won because I remember they were undefeated. So I'm trying to look that up, but I like Nice in this game. Nice has shown me that they are one of the better teams in the area, and you know they nearly beat Townsend. Go ahead. You know, not so fast, my friend.
Not so, we got the door open tonight. Everyone's probably wondering what the hell's going on in here, but yes, not so fast, Mary. Yes, not so fast, Mary. I'm going to take your words, in fact, and say it because you're the one who said a few weeks ago. I don't know, but going into Citizens Field and winning is really tough. Buholtz is really good at Citizens Field, and I agree with you. I think they are. Now, of course, I just picked Nice to beat St. Augustine. But I've got this. I just have this feeling that right now, somebody beats Buholtz. I'm going to take them at home, so I'm going to take Buholtz.
2 in a row.
So yeah, we'll have a couple. This game, I don't know, maybe as well. Southlake and Forest. Don't know a whole lot about Southlake. They come in at 4-1. Forest is 3-1.
Yeah, they really turned that program around the last couple of years. Southlake was really good last year too. We were talking about Coach Holly going over there and as assistant coach. And the Eagles are prime position to potentially take the district championship away. But I like the Fighting Brantley.
Like Fighting Brantleys?
Yeah. Oh, California.
Yes, the Fighting Brantleys. Okay, well, you know what? I agree. I'm going to take Forest. I think the only game they only lost so far was to – did they lose to Trinity Catholic? I think that was the game they lost, right?
Ocala.
They have one loss. That was Trinity, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
They lost to Trinity. It was a close game, though. Yeah, I'll take Forest at home. I think they're playing pretty well right now. They're coming with the win over GHS. And, by the way, that Eastside Denellen game is at Denellen. Okay, that makes more sense. Because they would have had to play tomorrow night because then it would be Buholtz and Nice are Citizens. But anyway, so, and that'll be coming up actually in just a moment. That'll be one of our picks. South Sumter and North Marion.
Oh, this one's a no-brainer for me. South Sumter.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised this is on here, actually.
It's a district game along with
are you sure you didn't
Denellen Eastside.
Are you sure you didn't mean to put South Marion at North Marion or something on it?
No.
Soon to be South Marion High School. Yeah, I'm with you. I think South Sumter is going to win that game, even though it's on the road. All right, Eastside at Denellen.
I like the way Eastside's been playing, even though they lost. You know, they held their own for a while against Bradford. I really like what Coach Gator's doing there. Playing at home. Well, I'm sorry, you said at Denellen.
It's actually at Denellen, but yeah.
Not at Eastside.
But still.
I think Eastside comes home with a victory.
It's a tough one. Denellen got blown out by Bradford.
And lost to Vanguard last week.
Lost to Vanguard, which was like 20-7. That wasn't that bad. It's tough to win at Denellen usually. But I like the Seaside team too. I think that the way they've been playing. I mean, their two losses were to Buholtz, where they were in the game.
Denellen's 2-3, by the way.
The other 2-3.
Yeah.
Their two losses for Eastside became, and the close one to Buholtz really was close to the fourth quarter, and then last week to Bradford. Yeah, I think you're right. I think Eastside's going to win as well. I'll take them on the road to win that game.
Okay.
Lecanto at Vanguard. This is a district game as well.
My mind keeps going back to when Lecanto killed GHS.
Yeah,
a couple weeks ago.
Don't let that.
But we're talking about Vanguard.
Yeah.
Vanguard is clearly the best team in Marion County.
Yeah.
I'm going with Vanguard.
Vanguard's the best team in that district too, pretty easily as well. And this game being at Booster Stadium, I think Vanguard will win. Coming off of being winning against Leesburg 2 weeks ago, and then last week against Denellen. All right, our last game of the week: Fleming Island and Ponta Vedra.
Which actually, this game was actually a late filler. Originally, I had Middleburg and Orange Park.
You took that
and
out
I kept
because
thinking about it, and I'm like, yeah, one team's undefeated, one team's struggling.
Right.
Yeah, let's go with the game that's a little more competitive.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Fleming Allen and Ponte Vedra. They're very similar to each other.
Yeah.
I think they're both around that 3. Oh, Fleming Allen's 3-1. Ponte Vedra 2-2.
Fleming Allen lost to Oakleaf. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it is a Ponte Vedra, but
Ponte Vedra's lost to Beachside and to Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going with Fleming Allen.
That is a district game. 5A3. Fleming Allen, they got blown out by Oakleaf, but otherwise they've been pretty impressive. Tell you, Ponte Vedra's got a tough schedule too. You know what? I'm going to go with Fleming Allen too. I come on as well on the road. No?
All right.
Those are the picks. Just the
two games difference.
Yeah, so I'm going to have a whole lot to catch up with this week.
So hopefully I can cut it to cut it to 3. Hopefully
Fletcher. Yeah, cut it to 3. That's right.
Go Fletcher.
All right. So we went a little bit late tonight, but that's no problem there, as we've been bringing you tonight the North Florida High School football gridiron report here on North Florida High School Football Talk, or North Florida High School Football Talk, pardon me. And I'm Marty Pallman. He's Corey Davis, and we will be back next week 8 to 9 to talk high school football here from Before Brady's and Start. Stay tuned. College football or gridiron report coming up. Our guest Kevin Brockway of the Gainesville Sun. So long and good night. Enjoy the week. Enjoy the games Thursday and Friday, and of course college and pro this weekend. See ya.
Rock is coming. Let's start right away.
Okay.